Since 2019, great whites have disappeared from the coast of South Africa. For as long as we can remember, this was the world's hottest spot to find great whites. But now, they're nowhere to be found. Now why is this? Because of killer whales. Orcas have been hunting down and killing great whites in the area for years now. And in response, the great whites have up and left the area. I've been following this story for a long time now. And today, we have some of the biggest updates yet. So let's dive right on in. Now, after first finding dead great whites washed on shore with wounds that indicated orca attacks, we started getting actual documentation of this happening. Drone footage of orca attacks on white sharks, photos of sharks with orca scars, and even some footage from boats showing these grueling attacks happening. In 2020 and 2021, we had a huge ramp up in these attacks, and starting last year, the great whites just up and left. Scientists were baffled. Where did the white sharks go? Was it specifically because of the orca attacks? Well, we now finally have the answers. On the southern tip of South Africa near Cape Town, where you would watch air jaws unfold on Shark Week every year, this was the great white shark hotspot of years ago. Shark tourism was massive here. People came from all over the world to see these sharks up close. Every beach in the area would have sightings, and the ecosystem was thriving. However, they have since left, and after years of searching, scientists have finally found the great whites, and they're currently located on the eastern half of South Africa, away from the orca populations. Sharks are very socially driven, and when they notice the biggest sharks in the area are being killed, they're smart enough to know to leave the area. Now, what's fascinating about this is that the orcas only use certain parts of the shark, so the rest of the body is bound to sink to the bottom of the ocean, which means we have no idea the true numbers of attacks that have unfolded, but it's estimated to be in the hundreds. Orcas will go after great white sharks specifically for their liver and heart, tearing them open from underneath. It's definitely very Hannibal Lecter-like, but that's the gruesome reality. In this footage here, you can even see the orcas have learned to put the sharks in tonic immobility, a trance-like state that happens when a shark is flipped upside down. This whole situation has been so fascinating. Great whites are the ultimate predator, but they're currently being taken down by orcas all around the world. It's not just happening in South Africa. Just this very week, an orca attacked a great white shark in Australia, which has definitely baffled scientists even more. Anyone who knows a lot about orcas know they can be pretty ruthless, no matter what they're hunting. Teaming up on a great white shark just for its liver and heart and leaving the rest is incredibly wasteful. Yet it's still something they're targeting right now. Thankfully, sharks are smart enough to recognize a problem and find a solution. By moving to a complete different side of the country, the great whites are able to avoid attacks, at least for now. We're also seeing these sharks hang out in deeper waters to try to stay away from the orcas as much as possible. There's been a huge ramp up in these attacks around Australia too, so it's only a matter of time before we see great whites there disappear as well. Now, South Africa's tourism has died a lot since 2019, and the ecosystem is struggling to find an apex predator to replace the great white. Shark tourism on the southern part of South Africa brought in hundreds of millions of dollars every single year, but now that the sharks are gone, that money is not coming in, and the ecosystem is a little up in the air right now since the great whites are not present. So altogether, orcas have been hunting down great whites for years now, and in response, the sharks have left the area completely. It's currently unknown if the white sharks will ever come back, but as long as the orcas keep targeting them, they probably won't. The great white and killer whale are the two greatest predators in the ocean, and seeing this battle happening in the wild is so fascinating. Now, it's not completely hopeless because every now and then you have a shark like this guy right here who's able to escape an attack, but most of the time, the orcas do prevail.